This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure you never miss the latest from the Disney theme parks all around the world. But here now the news for June 22nd, 2026. And happy birthday, Mom. That's right, I'm missing my mom's birthday to be at work. Oh, well. It's all right, we have a beaches and cream reservation later. It's okay. 4th of July at Magic Kingdom is now fully booked for Walt Disney World annual pass holders, although reservations remain open for other parks. The annual pass holder calendar shows no reservations available at the Magic Kingdom on Saturday, July 4th. Pass holders can still book EPCOT, Disney's Hollywood Studios, and Disney's Animal Kingdom. Some of those don't have fireworks. Guess which ones? If they want to visit Magic Kingdom that day, they could visit their reserved park and then hop to the Magic Kingdom, providing it does not hit capacity. This applies to the Incredipass and Sorcerer Pass. Pirate Pass and Pixie Dust Pass are blocked out July 2nd through the 5th. Pixie Dust Pass will also be blocked out on July 6th. Of course, this year marks America's 250th Independence Day. As usual, Magic Kingdom will celebrate with nighttime spectacular Disney Celebrate America, a 4th of July concert in the sky. This year being performed on July 3rd, 4th, and 5th. EPCOT will present the Heartbeat of Freedom following Luminous, the Symphony of Us as well on July 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So you have more opportunities than ever to see 4th of July fireworks at Walt Disney World. Construction is progressing quickly on Magic Kingdom's 4th ferryboat, although it's not scheduled to enter service until next year. Aerial photos by BioReconstruct on X show the boat's hull coming together. The boat arrived in pieces at Walt Disney World and construction began back in May. Disney said it will take another year to assemble the pieces, paint, and add final touches. The boat's shape is now clear as assembly of the first floor nears its end. A short crane and lift were parked near the boat when Bio flew over. It's currently being constructed next to a service building, which it may be moved into later in the construction process. For comparison, here's the boat as of this week, and then here's mid-May. You can see a lot of progress has been made. It's being constructed in a marina to the north of Disney's Contemporary Resort, which is also where the boats live. It's where the Liberty Bell is also sitting still, and it's where all the ferry boats live. So work is underway. Next year, we get one more ferry boat. Crews have started filling in the land between the new Piston Peak National Park retaining wall and the rest of Frontierland. Aerial photos of Magic Kingdom again by BioReconstruct on X show the continued work. Construction of the retaining wall, which runs approximately parallel to the Frontierland boardwalk, is nearly complete. Crews have poured and graded sand in the wide space between the retaining wall and the construction walls that are in front of Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. The retaining wall comes to an end alongside Big Thunder, sloping down to the ground. The construction walls continue around the Big Thunder exit queue to help mask the construction from the guests. Near the center of the Piston Peak construction site are sections of drainage pipe ready to be buried. There are vertical concrete sections at each end and at the center where it turns sharply. To the left in the photo you're looking at now is the extended queue of the Haunted Mansion and the remains of the partially demolished Mike Fink keelboat landing. The retaining wall comes to an end next to the old riverboat landing, which will remain as part of the new cars area. Part of the wall is still being cast, and a green conveyor belt runs over the wall to bring in more sand. You can compare the photo to the concept art and fun map, which depict a similar angle of the new cars area. At the bottom is the old riverboat landing. To the right will be a new walkway directly between the Haunted Mansion and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which will have geysers along it. But yeah, work continuing on this project. Still no opening timeline has been shared, but D23 just weeks away. Disney has shared a new behind-the-scenes video of the American Adventure attraction at EPCOT in celebration of America's 250th anniversary. In the video shared on Facebook, we could see the extensive system of carriages, which show sets that roll out from underneath the theater seating and then are hydraulically lifted into place on stage. The video also focuses on different scenes, like how difficult it was to mimic Ben Franklin's gait while walking upstairs, and how they used a fan to make George Washington more lifelike. I don't know if I need to tell all of you this. The American Adventure is one of the most psychotic attractions ever built. The idea of like, well, how do we do an audio animatronic show with different scenes? And you're like, well, do they spin in? Do they push in? And someone's like, no, we build them all in a carriage system under the seating, and then as the show progresses, they move forward a slot, and then a whole scene comes up, and then it goes down, and then we move it up again, and then number one, who thought of this? And number two, I would love to be in the room where it's like, yeah, we could do that. That seems easy. Epcot Center was insane, an absolutely insane place. This is a really cool video. I would definitely go watch it. But if you want to know a lot more about how the American Adventure came to be, we're going to have a whole presentation on it at Wayback WED. That's this October 2nd and 3rd at Disney's Contemporary Resort. You do have to be a WIGS member to register, so go register at patreon.com/WDWNT. You can register at the free level. You don't have to do the paid level to register for Wayback WED. You do get a discount, though, if you go to one of those paid levels. But at Wayback WED, our grand finale, the final presentation, how we're wrapping up the whole event, is a big tribute to the American Adventure with those who made it happen back in 1982. There's going to be a lot of stories you've never heard, some art you've never seen before, and so much more. So join us at Wayback WED this October 2nd and 3rd. Drivers arriving at Epcot now have a new layer of lane guidance before reaching the park's parking booths. Dividers have been installed which prevent guests from switching lanes. The new white lane dividers have been installed ahead of that toll plaza. The dividers are positioned directly on the roadway and run parallel to the traffic lanes leading up to each toll plaza booth beneath the large Epcot welcome sign. The low-profile dividers now line all of the approach lanes, creating more defined channels for vehicles as they move toward the individual booths. And let's be honest, they just stop you from switching lanes at the last minute. They're installed on the pavement itself rather than being temporary cones or movable traffic markers or this has been an ongoing saga. I don't know what's going on at the Epcot Toll Plaza. You may remember they put in some new speed bumps several months ago, and people were hitting those at such a speed that it was damaging people's cars, so they got rid of those, and now this is another attempt to slow people down in a way, I guess because they can't switch lanes at the last minute. I don't know. But man, when we're not there, apparently something is going on at this toll plaza, and it's dangerous enough to where they keep playing around with it. So, yeah, so they have the dividers there. They don't have, usually in these you could see there's holes for like I don't know what you call those things. Just the sticks that come, the reflective sticks that come out of the ground to make sure you don't go over them. Those aren't there yet, and maybe they won't be. We don't know, but either way, they're trying to control traffic at the entrance of Epcot. Maybe just slow down, everybody. Just slow down so this doesn't have to continue. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, that's Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head on over to WDWNT.travel, and their team will design your next magical vacation from the Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resorts to Disney Cruise Line to Adventures by Disney and more. And the best part is their concierge services are 100% free. They are free, so book today. Sabrina still did it, even though there's a crowd today. She's like, I'm still going to do it. New aerial photos from BioReconstruct, he's filling out the news show today on X, shows major progress across the upcoming Monsters, Inc. land at Disney's Hollywood Studios. That's Monstropolis, the City Frightful. And we're going to take a look at the massive roller coaster show building, the future Harryhausen's restaurant, and the former Muppet Vision 3D theater. The latest photos show the full scale of the project, which is transforming that former Muppets courtyard into Monstropolis. The former courtyard is still largely dirt, but the layout is becoming more defined. Scaffolding, construction materials, lifts, and equipment are spread throughout the area between the former Muppet Vision Theater and the former Mama Melrose's Ristorante Italiano. The biggest visible update is the future Monsters, Inc. door coaster show building, or gravity building, where a massive steel frame continues to rise in the former Backstage cast member parking lot. Multiple levels of steel beams, diagonal bracing, and decking are now installed, while cranes and boom lifts remain active around the structure. The surrounding concrete slab extends far beyond the current steel frame, showing the large footprint of the attraction's facility. Two concrete and block structures that resemble elevator shafts are visible across the slab. Additional steel pieces and curved track components are visible in these photos near several personnel lifts. Work also continues on the future Harryhausen's restaurant, which is replacing Mama Melrose. Recent ground-level updates show the facade beginning to take shape, and the aerial photos show just how much work is underway across the entire structure. Of course, they're keeping the former Muppet Vision 3D theater building, but work continues all around it on the facade and likely inside where we can't see. Disney has now announced that the theater will officially be the Glob Theater. They've still not officially said what will be inside. Outside, small curved garden walls appear to have been erected closer to the outer edge of the upcoming land, adjacent to the theater. Scaffolding lines several sides of the building, and crews appear to be working around the connecting spaces between the theater, the restaurant, and the front courtyard. The first piece of roller coaster track for that new Monsters, Inc. door coaster has also been raised for installation. This appears to be the first piece that will be placed. We spotted several coaster track pieces on the ground from the Disney Skyliner as of late in a staging area where we've also seen coaster supports. Now we see what is believed to be the first piece being raised into place. And so if they've started on that, it will be fast and furious. So stay tuned to the website because I'm sure we'll show you a couple pieces of track that get installed every day probably from this point on. Meanwhile, the Tropical Americas at Disney's Animal Kingdom continues to take shape as more structures and buildings see progress, including the Casita and an area by the future Carousel. Thanks to BioReconstruct, we also have a look inside this construction site. Tropical Americas will represent one of the most culturally rich regions of the world, representing parts of Mexico, Central America, and South America. This area will pay homage to both ancient and modern cultures, and will consist of a fictional village of Pueblo Esperanza, featuring a new carousel, the Encanto attraction, and the Indiana Jones ride, which is reimagined from Dinosaur. There will also be a new playground. Restaurantosaurus is being reimagined into a new dining establishment, but we don't have any firm details other than it will be a hacienda. These overall aerial views provide a broad look at the construction site with dirt paths, utility work, orange construction barriers, heavy equipment, and staging materials spread across the entire land. As we start to get more detailed photos of the various parts, we see there hasn't been any major updates to the Indiana Jones attraction, at least that are visible outside. Steel structures were erected in late May to form the shape of the Mayan temple. There haven't been any new additions to that in recent weeks, but again, work is probably happening inside the building. The Encanto attraction and surrounding area have been a heavy focus for us, as it's not a reimagining of a ride, but rather a completely new building, an attraction being built from scratch. Now that the exterior of the building is largely complete, we likely will not get to see construction taking place because it's going to happen inside the building. So we'll have to wait for Disney to show us. But again, D23 just a couple weeks away, and I would imagine we're going to see something from the inside. The most significant addition to this part of the land is the large number of soft white boxes or cubes on the roof of the attraction. BioReconstruct suggests that these are foam blocks that may be the basis of the background hills for the exterior. So what they will do in most cases is you need a support structure for the fake hills and such that go on top of the building, and that's what this will be to hide the taller parts of the show building. As you can see in the construction, there's the casita, and that's attached to a fairly low portion of show building, and then the show building gets taller behind for the main attraction, but they need to cover that taller portion, and they'll do that with fake rolling hills. Additionally, there are new forms in front of the casita. One is a U-shaped piece, and the one is mostly straight with a slight bend on one end. Slopes of dirt surround these, which is in line with the concept art, showing the casita on a small hill. Near the carousel, meanwhile, there's a new structure that has popped up since our last update in May. It is closest to the construction walls that separate the land from the rest of the park. It's surrounded by orange fencing. And here it is from a different angle, though the view is more obstructed. It also appears that another small structure or building has continued to develop, as there is a new pad and concrete blocks where footers and steel beams previously were located. On the other side of the carousel, there are some new archways on each side of the path leading from the construction walls. One side has two formed archways, but the center one does not appear complete at the time the photo was taken. On the other side of the path, there are two smaller ones that have been filled. A large construction form is next to it, while more formed structure materials are staged on the other side. At this time, both buildings of the former Restaurantosaurus and Chester and Hester's still remain the same from our last update. A small wood structure has been erected to the right of one of the main buildings, however. Crews have paved a dirt path from the front buildings towards the Indiana Jones attraction, likely so construction vehicles can access the area more easily. Many of the staged materials are still there as well, giving us clues that work hasn't progressed much in comparison to other areas of the land. These photos show the row of buildings and path leading to the Indiana Jones attraction from different angles. The Tropical Americas land is supposed to open next year. Good luck, everybody. Lion designs have replaced the Zootopia Better Zoogether designs in a collectible medallion machine at Animal Kingdom. The machine at Discovery Trading Company has had those Better Zoogether medallions since last summer, way ahead of the attraction opening, but it now offers instead 4 lion designs. These were previously available at the Zowani Traders machine, but were replaced by IP designs a few years ago. Though the golden coins feature realistic lions, at least 2 of the designs are inspired by the Lion King. The real story here is that Better Zoogether, which is a fairly new attraction, no longer is selling souvenir medallions, and I wonder if that's on purpose. Have they moved somewhere else and they just haven't made the move yet? We're not sure yet, but it is weird that a relatively new attraction had low enough demand for its souvenir medallions that they've pulled them from the machine. This is not my favorite attraction. It doesn't sound like it's anybody else's, so maybe they're pulling things back on the Zootopia Better Together show in the meantime. We'll keep an eye out to see if these reappear. It's weird that they were available for such a limited time, but I suspect they'll pop back up, and maybe the demand just wasn't there. Maybe people would rather have lion medallions than anything that says Zootopia Better Together on it. Disney Springs has confirmed that Vuori is coming soon to the shopping, dining, and entertainment district. Disney Springs posted a photo on their Instagram of Vuori signage in the windows of the former Shore storefront. Shore permanently closed back in May after a clearance sale. Soon after Shore's closure, a permit indicated Vuori would be taking over, and now it is confirmed. Shore was among the first tenants ever in the town center at Disney Springs when it opened over 10 years ago. The shop sold clothing and accessories. There is another Shore location nearby in Longboat Key, Florida, if you're really in the market for it, but Vuori is coming soon. Tickets are now on sale for the new Level 99 location at Disney Springs, which will open at the end of the month. One ticket for 1.5 hours is $29.99 on most weekdays, $39.99 on Saturdays and on Friday, July 3rd, and $35.99 on Sundays. A 2.5-hour ticket is $10 more at $39.99, $49.99, or $45.99 according to the when you buy it. Ticket pricing is the same for adults and minors, and kids under 16 must be accompanied by an adult. Guests must pick a time slot to enter Level 99. Tickets are currently only available to purchase through August. Located on the district's west side, the 46,800 square foot venue will feature 63 physical and mental challenges across 2 floors. There will also be a 2-story bar serving handcrafted cocktails, local beers on tap, award-winning Detroit-style pizza, Wagyu burgers, and more. At check-in, guests will receive an RFID-powered Velo Band, which unlocks access to the challenges. Players can enjoy all the games in the venue for the price of admission and attempt each game as many times as they desire, of course, within the time limit. They last about 1 to 4 minutes each and are designed for 2 to 6 players. Plus, Level 99 saves the player's progress, allowing them to pick up where they left off when they return to any Level 99 location. Level 99 will open at Disney Springs on June 29th. The first 500 players will receive a commemorative pin. I'm going to talk about this for a second. Is it $40 for an hour and a half? Is that correct? Look.
Or is that the 2.5?
Was that the 2.5 that's $40? Is it $30 for an hour and a half? Is that right? Is that correct? We have to scroll back up in the story. Okay, yeah. Excuse me. But no, it's $40 on Saturdays and Friday, July 3rd, Sabrina. So it is sometimes. Okay, you've built a venue with a 2-story bar. You're selling 1.5 hour admission. Are people going to want to stop to have a drink when they have a very limited amount of time that they've paid a premium price for? I kind of wonder if this is going to work. And I haven't actually looked. I should look if this pricing, I doubt it's in line with their other Level 99 locations in other places. That seems high. And it just doesn't seem like a lot of time for a venue that has a bar where you'd want to stop, relax, and enjoy a drink. So we'll see how this all shakes out. I'm intrigued by the concept. We have a media preview on Thursday. I'm very excited to go check this out. It seems like fun. I'm just worried about their pricing structure and time limit and what that means for the use of the bar. Sabrina makes a fair point that maybe the band is active for an hour and a half, and maybe either before your time starts or after you're done, you can enjoy the bar. I hope that's the case. That makes way more sense. That makes way more sense. The Fabulous Line Information Keeper, or FLIK for short, system has been in place since 1999 at Walt Disney World to help cast members gather accurate wait time information. It's now been officially 100% retired, according to the person who helped implement it at the Disney theme parks. Essentially, the program worked by handing out red cards to guests as they entered a standby line for an attraction, sometimes even a fast pass line. And once guests were at the load area or the merge or whatever Disney wanted to track, you'd hand that card back to a cast member, and Disney would be able to tap that card again, and it would give them an accurate wait time. It would tell them exactly how long you waited to get from point A to point B. Though it hasn't been officially announced by Disney, the news came from Jonathan Rule, who helped implement the program in 1999. He shared that today marks a truly special milestone, the end of an era. We just completed the conversion of the last FLIK location in a Disney theme park. That's worldwide, by the way. For those who remember the early days, FLIK stands for the Fabulous Line Information Keeper, the system that was made its debut way back in 1999. It was one of the first op-sheet enhancements I had the privilege to help implement at Walt Disney World and later at Disneyland. It's amazing to reflect on how many guests contributed to tracking wait times with FLIK over the years, shaping the guest experience in ways we couldn't have imagined at the time. I can't help but wonder, were you ever one of the lucky folks who got handed a FLIK card? If so, you were part of a little slice of Disney history. Just to set the record straight, I can't take credit for coming up with the name, but I have to admit it's pretty memorable. Here's to everyone who's part of the journey, old, school, and new. Let's celebrate the progress and the fond memories together. This is one of those, in my lifetime, quintessential fanboy things, was the excitement of being handed the FLIK card. It was so exciting. Like, oh, cool. And maybe some of us took one at some point. I'm not saying that happened, but I'm not saying any guests walked away with them, and certainly not me at any point. But yeah, the FLIK card, the main replacement was Magic Bands. For those that don't know, Magic Bands have RFID technology, and there is some tracking that can be done. And so what Disney had been doing since the implementation of Magic Bands is it would just follow the guests through the queue, and it knew when you entered and it knew when you left. And so that's how they were tracking it. Disneyland took a little while longer because they didn't have Magic Bands. I don't know what has replaced the system at Disneyland, because obviously all of the guests don't have that. Maybe it's just done via camera or infrared or something. I don't really know at this point. But I know at Disney World we were using Magic Band. And maybe we're not even using Magic Band anymore. But that's what happened. But it is kind of the end of an era. 1999, this is a very important moment in Disney Parks history. This is implemented along with FastPass at that time. And really not only trying to help guests wait less time at more attractions, but also like trying to see how long people are actually waiting for attractions and give them accurate wait times. And that's why it's called FLIK, because it was 1999. That's when A Bug's Life was released, so that's why it has the name. Oogie Boogie is already scaring up demand for this year's Halloween party at Disney California Adventure, where it's already sold out for 2 nights. 2 2026 dates for Oogie Boogie Bash, the annual special ticketed Halloween event at DCA, have sold out shortly after the tickets went on sale to the general public. As of June 19th, the sold-out dates are Saturday, October 31st, that's Halloween, in addition to Sunday, October 11th. The 2026 party takes place on select nights from August 18th through October 31st. General admission tickets range from $139 to $199 per guest, ages 3 and up. The new restrooms in Avengers Campus, as part of the major expansion of the Disney California Adventure Land, are progressing. The Cars theming, which is visible from Cars Land, is a recent addition. From Cars Land, we can view the theming that has been painted on the side of the new restrooms. The painted on signage reads, "Pop and patch, tire repair, no spare, no problem." A construction vehicle is visible above the walls. Pop and Patch is a closed tire repair shop in Radiator Springs. Even though it's in Avengers Campus, Disney has themed this section of the facade where it will face into Cars Land. There's still plenty of space on the facade for more Cars theming. We'll have to wait and see if more of that happens. Meanwhile, Avengers Infinity Defense and Stark Flight Lab are under construction behind the Avengers headquarters. We haven't seen much visible progress, but it is pretty far behind those walls. It's hard to see. Avengers Campus has done nothing but ruin sightlines in Cars Land since it opened, and I hate Avengers Campus for it. And I'm glad they're doing something, but sometimes it doesn't fit in. This is better than what they did. They built a new entertainment building a couple years ago because of the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway construction. They knocked down the old one. They built a new one on the other side. And if you've ever been on Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters, there's what feels like 100-foot tall garage. So there's a garage door that goes probably 50 feet higher than any vehicle known to man. And I just don't understand why they did that. But it looks like they're doing a slightly better job this time making it fit into the world of Cars. But I'm just tired of them ruining the sightlines of one of the best lands they've ever built. Construction continues to progress at the new Gordon Ramsay at the Carnaby Eatery coming to downtown Disney at the Disneyland Resort. Some of the construction walls have come down, in fact. The multicolored construction walls have come down on one side of the building, revealing the facade of the restaurant. We've seen the upper half of the building for weeks now, but the lower half features a retro-looking front door in a cognac brown color. The decorative structure to the right features a vertically repeating geometric fretwork composed of lines and squares. The letters are embedded within the cutout sections. A small section in front of the entrance appears to be made of gray tile. Around the other side, the construction walls are still up. This side features the outdoor patio area. Patio furniture and interior lighting were recently installed. Beige scrim still covers the concrete column, which was previously uncovered. But yeah, work continues on the Carnaby. Sometime this summer, this is going to open. And it's right above the Earl of Sandwich. They're, in fact, operated by Earl of Sandwich, both venues. Several new animal scenes are beginning to appear along the rivers of the Far West, part of Thunder Mesa, that's Frontierland at Disneyland Paris. They were promised last year, but better late than never. Guests can now begin spotting the new animal figures along the banks of the rivers of the Far West. 4 new scenes are being installed gradually over the coming weeks, marking a major milestone for a project that was previously announced but had yet to materialize. The new scenes are inspired by original sketches from Disney legend Imagineer Marc Davis. Marc Davis was one of Disney's 9 old men, a group of animators who worked at Walt Disney Productions in the earliest years. Davis joined Disney in 1935, starting as an animator. Of course, then it went on to become a prolific Imagineer, working on the Jungle Cruise, Tiki Room, Carousel of Progress, It's a Small World, Haunted Mansion. He's the father of the Country Bear Jamboree, and so much more. The new figures, including a buffalo on a prairie and raccoons and a skunk on a floating log, have been specially designed and produced for the project by Walt Disney Imagineering Paris. These will be exclusive to Paris. They do not exist anywhere else in the world. Guests will catch a glimpse of the new additions while enjoying a cruise aboard the Molly Brown Riverboat, which has recently been renovated from stem to stern. Yeah, it's nice to see this finally happening. I can't wait to see the finished product. This is great. After several weeks of refurbishment, renovations are complete for the general store at Disney Hotel Cheyenne. Additionally, new decor has been added elsewhere around the Disneyland Paris property. Scaffolding has been removed from the general store, which was in place while Disney refurbished the canopy's woodwork. Some of it was repaired while other sections were replaced. The photos from DLP Works show which areas were replaced, which are more obvious because they are unfinished or unstained. The store sells Disney souvenirs, toys, sweets, and treats in a Wild West saloon environment. Additionally, new props have been added to other areas around the hotel. 3 stagecoach wagons are now in front of the hotel's Chuck Wagon Cafe. The restaurant offers a gourmet all-you-can-eat meal laid out inside a barn. Gourmet, I use that term very loosely if you've eaten there, but God, I love that restaurant. You can sit, if you have enough people, you can sit in a wagon. There are booths that look like wagons. I've still never done it because you need 6 or more people, and I don't have any friends. So I've never gotten to sit in a... Even I brought my family, there's 4 of us, and we just looked longingly at the booth that looked like a wagon. I do love this restaurant. Gourmet is strong, but I do like eating here. From what we can see in the photos by DLP Works, props including wooden crates, rope, barrels, bundles of straw, tools, and other Old West essentials have been added. This is nice to see. This is probably more what this hotel looked like back in 1992 when it opened. It's nice to see them restoring it. Yeah, but Hotel Cheyenne, it's a wonderful hotel. I highly recommend staying there. I love it. We end our story at my favorite Disney location around the world, Lowe's. Lowe's has released another round of the Haunted Mansion-inspired Halloween decor. This drop includes 3 blow mold tombstones, joining the Miss Kitty and Big Jake tombstones that were released earlier in the month. There is now a Grandpa Marc blow mold tombstone for $59.98. Yes, this is a reference to Marc Davis. You can own and decorate with a Marc Davis reference. How cool is that? This is 2 feet tall with a gray stone-like finish. It's really, really cool. There's also a Francis Xavier blow mold. That's a reference to Exitencio, who put the song together for Haunted Mansion. And so this is real. As a fanboy, these are like a must-own, right? We need these. They also have Rosie the Pig for $69.98. It's a little bigger, so it's more expensive, as you would expect. An entry from the Pet Cemetery. All these available now from Lowe's. And if we have affiliate, it will appear here now. And if you buy them through this affiliate link, you help us here at WDWNT. So thank you for your time. Speaking of helping us here at WDWNT, let me tell you about Carousel of Products, which has a summer sale happening right now at carouselproducts.com. All of our button-down shirts, if you buy 3, you save 20%. There's also 10% off site-wide, except on our subscription services. So use that code to save 10% across the entire website. And as well, if any orders of $69 or more, you get free shipping. So head on over to carouselproducts.com. I said the 10% doesn't work on subscription services. Well, we are individually selling our pin of the month pins. Those are the D pins with the various original characters from the Disney parks around the world. If you buy those individually, the 10% does apply. And once you buy those, you can add on a subscription at a reduced rate for the rest of the year to finish out the collection. So shop with us at carouselofproducts.com. For the absolute latest on these stories and all those that didn't make it into today's show, be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to all our WIGS members watching who make this show happen every week. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.